Presented by Zales. We are in ice-cold New York City, and the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, will host what used to be one of the fiercest rivalries in college basketball. Louisville and Memphis throwing down for the first time in nearly 4 years in the House Gotham Classic, both teams coming in at 7-2. Ted Emmerich and John Thompson III with you as Memphis makes its way onto the court, winners of 4 in a row. On the other side, John, Louisville has won 3 straight, and their point guard, Quentin Snyder, has really been the catalyst.
Without a doubt. You know, Quentin is a 3-year starter, and he's eased into the season, I would say. You know, but once the game is on the line, when they need someone to make a decision on the court, someone to make a play, they're going to put the ball in his hands and let him determine where they go with it.
Memphis has 2 guys who can get hot in a hurry, Jeremiah Martin and Kareem Bruton Jr.
Correct, and I think they're going to have to get hot in a hurry and stay warm for them to have some success today. Bruton came off the bench last game. He liked that. He liked settling into the game and then coming in. But those 2 young men are going to have to perform today.
Bruton started the first 7 games of the season, came off the bench the last 2, gave Memphis a spark in their win over Albany on Tuesday. Louisville coming in with 3 straight victories after back-to-back losses to Purdue and Seton Hall. Those defeats making Deng Adele and the Cardinals tumble out of the AP Top 25. Both teams unranked. Louisville on its way back. Big win over Indiana last Saturday at home. Louisville in the red. They win the opening tip, and off we go from the Big Apple. The O'Reilly Auto Parts starting lineups. Big front line, John. Adele, Spalding, and Mahmoud bring a lot of length to the table for Louisville.
A lot of length and a lot of athleticism. And so, you know, Memphis is going to have to deal with that.
That's one of the keys that Tubby Smith was telling us before the game. Got to find the open man offensively. Make that extra pass when going up against the 7-footer Mahmoud. But Mike Parks backing him down and scoring in the post.
And I love what Memphis did that first possession. You talk about Parks backing him down and scoring, but it was getting the ball right in the middle of the zone by Rivers that created the passing opportunity.
Louisville has won their last 9 games here at Madison Square Garden. Ray Spalding, the junior inside, missing the hook shot, but he got his own miss. And a steal for Memphis. Jeremiah Martin, the point guard, one of only 2 returning letter winners for Memphis. Tigers tied for the fewest returning letter winners in the country with James Madison and Mississippi Valley State.
Key point down the other end. Memphis got the defensive rebound. They can't allow Louisville to get 2nd and 3rd shots.
Martin being guarded by Adele late in the shot clock. Now Snyder on the switch. Kevin Davenport launching the 3, and here comes Louisville. Martin the interception for Memphis.
That last possession, Memphis needs more movement. Their offense cannot be stagnant. They have to change sides of the court.
And Tubby has talked about it, John. The half-court offense has been a work in progress this year for the Tigers and working in all these new players.
Well, you know, it usually takes maybe up until the start of conference play, particularly with so much turnover. He has 11 new players, and so it's going to take some time. And he's been slow walking what he inputs with the offense just to make sure they grasp what they have before they move on. So they're going to continue to get better, I think, as the year goes on.
Spalding commits the foul, and Jeremiah Martin late in the shot clock. Bailed out. He's at the free throw line trying to add to the Memphis lead. Leading scorer for the Tigers. Martin, an 80% foul shooter on the season. Well, for Louisville, David Padgett is the acting head coach. Took over 2 days before practice began. September 29th, an unenviable task. John, at 32 years old, his first head coaching job, and he's got to replace the Hall of Famer Rick Pitino, who coached him here at Louisville. The circumstances could not be any worse, but he's handling the situation with grace.
No, I'm going to take that. I'm going to disagree with that. The circumstances could be worse because in spite of all the madness that's going on around them, he has a upper-class dominated team and, boom, some very, very good players. So, you know, it's one thing to go through all this madness and you don't have any players. He has players.
And guys like VJ King, who have been through this before. A scandal involving escorts for recruits just 2 years ago. Ray Spalding, Anas Mahmoud, Quentin Snyder, they were on the roster then. They know how to stay focused on the court even though there's a distraction off it.
But when you cross the lines, you focus on the task at hand. And this group so far, from talking to the coaching staff, has done a very good job of that.
Snyder going high off the glass to tie the score. Snyder has been a starter for Louisville since the end of his freshman year when Chris Jones was kicked off the team, preseason second-team All-ACC.
This is what I'm talking about. Memphis needs more movement. One man has had the ball in his hands the entire possession.
Now Davenport in the high post. Shot clock down to 6. Jamario Rivers on the take against Spalding. Davenport is there to clean it up.
Way to go, big fella. Way to clean it up.
Davenport, one of several junior college transfers on the Memphis roster. He was a junior college All-American a year ago. King hits the 3.
VJ with 2 early baskets. He's one of the many players on Louisville's team that can get hot.
Now VJ King hoping to have a breakout year, much like Donovan Mitchell did a year ago. Mitchell, now a standout with the Utah Jazz, was a lottery pick. King trying to make that jump from his freshman year to his sophomore year, coming in averaging 9 points a game.
He is, and I think he's going to continue to make the progression. The beautiful thing about Louisville's team is they don't need one person to replace everything that Donovan brought to the table. They have a lot of different people that can step up and add just a little bit that will add up to the sum total.
10 to shoot. Martin weaving his way through traffic. Rivers puts up the long 2. That goes down. Memphis retakes the lead. Snyder attacking and putting it in reverse. Beautiful move by Louisville's point guard.
Too easy. Needs some help defense to come from the weak side so he can't get all the way to the rim right there.
Snyder averaging just under 11 points a game coming into this one. Martin almost lost it. Finds Rivers inside. But there's Louisville closing down. Mahmoud the rebound. Adele the kick. And Snyder buries the triple.
Here we go. One of the keys to the game for Memphis is limiting Louisville's transition baskets. And most of their points so far have come off transition or early offense.
Here's Jeremiah Martin on the wing, guarded by King now. Slashing in, Adele came to meet him. Parks underneath, blocked by Mahmoud, who averages almost 4 blocks a game, but Parks stuck with it.
Yeah, Mahmoud is 6th in the nation in blocked shots, but Parks just went into his body right there. You get your shot blocked, that happens. Stay with the play, which Parks did. He gets a putback. Parks
really struggled Tuesday night. Played only 4 minutes, did not score against Albany. Much better start for him. Now a steal by Martin and an uncontested layup to tie things up.
Nice change of defenses right there by Coach Smith. They started off in man-to-man. Now you're going to see some of their zone.
Martin, the returning starter at point guard for Memphis. King cutting through. Louisville has made their last 5 shots from the floor. Snyder wants another 3. Give it to him.
Let's make it 6. And I think he has 3 of them. That's not what Memphis wanted to see.
Snyder's got 10 of Louisville's 15 here in the early going. Good start offensively for both teams here at the Garden. 8 on the timer for Memphis. Davenport right down Broadway. He missed the dunk. Martin got it back, and a foul is called as Snyder hit the floor. We've got a timeout. Louisville and Memphis renewing their rivalry here in New York.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Howe, the new way to design your home. Progressive Insurance, your first round pick for car insurance. And Degree Deodorant, it won't let you down.
A 15-12 lead for Louisville here early at the Gotham Classic at Madison Square Garden. So glad that you could join us, Ted Emmerich, and former Georgetown and Princeton head coach John Thompson III. You mentioned him right off the top. Louisville point guard Quentin Snyder, he's shining in the early going.
He really is shining early. He's making his shots. He's creating opportunities. He's doing a pretty good job of getting the spacing, getting his feet set. Here, he gets into the lane. Nice left-handed floater over the top. Here you get penetration, kick out to one corner, bang. 2 possessions later, penetration, kick out to the other corner, bang. And so, Memphis wants to protect the paint, but they still have to close out harder because if you keep giving him those shots, it looks like he's going to knock them down all afternoon, I should say.
Snyder, a Louisville native from Ballard High School, the same high school as Allen Houston, the former New York Knicks great who authored many memorable moments in this building, the 2-time All-Star. Snyder, in fact, broke Allen Houston's high school scoring record at Ballard.
So maybe the Ballard guys just love playing in the Garden.
Maybe.
Who doesn't love playing in the Garden?
It's a special, special building. There was some talk about the VJ King 3. The officials took a look at the monitor during the break if it was in fact a 3 or was his foot on the line. It is a 3, so a 3-point lead for Louisville. Memphis ball out of the timeouts. And Kareem Bruton Jr. has checked in, the 6th man who has given Memphis some scoring punch, wearing number 5 in white. Martin finds Bruton on the wing. Being guarded by Dwayne Sutton, the transfer from UNC Asheville. Bruton on the baseline. And his pass is stolen. Snyder coming up with the theft.
Bruton's got to be a little more patient down there. Let things come to him.
The turnovers have been an issue. Memphis averaging 14 a game as a team. King the crossover, picked it up. Snyder's calling for it here on the left side. Sutton the drive.
Nice change of defenses again. Coming out of that timeout, Memphis goes back to a man-to-man.
And John, like you're looking for a little more movement from the Tigers offensively.
I am.
Instead, it leads to a guy like Bruton who is so individually talented, but he's got to create on his own.
Yeah, but he can do what he just did. He's wired to score. He's a big-time scorer. He scored prior to coming here. He's going to score here. He's settling into that. But I think they need just a little more ball rotation. Now, Louisville's extending their wings, which is making that difficult. Memphis has to do what they did the first couple of minutes of the game, is when they're denied, cut and get the ball to the center of the lane, get the ball in the middle, and then make a decision. Do I have a shot or should I kick it out for an easy shot?
You saw Tubby Smith just a moment ago, 34 years older than David Padgett, but he's got something in common with his counterpart today. Both had to replace Rick Pitino. Of course, Tubby won a national championship in his first year with Kentucky after Pitino left for the Celtics in the late 90s.
Tubby's done a lot more than that. He's taken 5 teams, 5 different universities to the NCAA tournament.
And hoping to make Memphis a 6th. The Tigers have not been to the NCAA tournament since 2014. 2-point game here in the first half. In the Gotham Classic, Mahmoud in traffic, and the 7-footer from Cairo, Egypt converts.
How long is he? How long is he? He just got down and got to where he wanted. Nice little jump hook.
7'6" wingspan for Mahmoud.
They get the ball to the middle. That's a good shot. It did not go in, but that's a good shot.
Rainier Thornton missing the pull-up. Ryan McMahon can shoot it, coming off the bench for Louisville. Could not drain it. Thornton sets the screen for Martin. The step back over McMahon. That's pure. Jeremiah Martin brings Memphis to within 2, but Louisville is running after the made bucket.
Pretty good transition defense there by Memphis.
And Sutton still knocks down the triple. The redshirt sophomore, originally from Louisville, started his career at UNC Asheville.
Memphis has to make sure that they keep getting second shots. They have turned Louisville over a couple of times, 3 or 4 times this game. They have to continue to do that. They're not going to be able to win just by running half-court offense.
Martin trying to shoot over the zone. It's too strong. And McMahon, who has come up with a lot of winning plays last 2 games. He missed the first month of the season with a broken rib. McMahon with the board. Snyder the crossover. And the jumper's in and out. McMahon thought about it. Snyder had his shot erased. He and Thornton at the other end of the floor. And a block by Sutton, but a foul is called. And we have a timeout. Well, I am so fortunate my first trip to the Garden that John Thompson III is my tour guide. Coming up, he shows me around here at MSG.
Five, please. Butterflies, your stomach starts. As a coach, at least, right now. Muhammad Ali has been on here. Jay-Z has been on here. Willis Reed, everyone that's ever played the guard. When they have the circus, the elephants get on this freight elevator. So just get your kid.
Yeah, I'm geeking out a little bit. First time at Madison Square Garden. Ted Emmerich, John Thompson III. Of course, John, you know this building better than most. But I always knew that I had something in common with the great Muhammad Ali. I took the freight elevator at MSG.
This place is special. This building has a soul. It's just unique. It's just different. The horn sounds different. Every time that I've gotten on that freight elevator to come up to the top floor, you're just excited every time.
You coached here 47 times, 45 with Georgetown and twice with Princeton here at Madison Square Garden. Of course, you've cut down nets here, 2007 Big East Championship. Billy Joel has played here 46 times. You've got him beat by one.
That's the only area where I have Billy Joel beat, let me tell you that.
Wow. A special, special building. What is it like cutting down nets here? 10 years ago it happened for you.
Let me tell you, cutting down nets anywhere is as special as it gets. But it's special. That Big East Championship, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like that Saturday, now Sunday, in March for that Big East Championship. This building, this city is electric.
Mike Parks off to an electric start for Memphis. His third bucket, he's got 6, and the Tigers are within a point. McMahon launching the 3 and connecting. That's what he does best.
That's what he does. He's missed his first couple of shots, but he's going to keep shooting, and he's going to make a lot more than he misses.
He broke his rib on the hip of Anas Mahmoud, Louisville's starting center in practice. Had to miss the first month, but McMahon, a valuable component coming off the bench.
Yeah, he's extremely valuable, not just for his shooting. He understands what they're trying to accomplish. He's a very good passer. Louisville pressure's bothering Memphis.
Darius Perry, the backup point guard, the freshman from near Atlanta, running the two-man game with McMahon, and Perry puts it home. Perry could be special.
He can. As you said, he's a freshman. So far, his presence is felt more on the defensive end than the offensive end, but once he settles in, that's going to happen.
And again, Perry bothering Memphis on the perimeter.
Here's McMahon. Look at that range. I mean, that's a step or so past the NBA 3. Now he comes down, boop, drops it off, easy basket. He's a player. He's not just a shooter. He's a player.
Yeah, David Padgett was telling us yesterday, I love his experience. 3 years in the program, and he just makes winning plays time and time again.
I'll tell you, in general, Louisville's pressure is starting to wear on Memphis. The press and then their pressure at the other end. Memphis' quality of shots has gone down a little. This is what they have to do. Get a turnover, get a rebound. Make a better decision in transition.
Jamaria Rivers was out of control. McMahon took it, and the foul as Louisville was heading the other way.
Rivers, nice rebound, explosion. He's got 4 guys around him. Come to a jump stop right there, and one of your teammates is going to be open. But they must continue to push the ball. They have to create turnovers or second shots and do what he did. I mean, exploding to the paint is not wrong, but then just make a better decision at the end.
Jamal Johnson, the freshman from Birmingham, Alabama, has to take a seat with 2 personals. Louisville has its largest lead at 6. McMahon, the skip pass. Dang Adele has not scored yet, and Louisville's leading scorer is now on the board. An 8-0 run for the Cardinals.
Off an assist from McMahon.
Parks gathers it back in. Martin, the penetration. Addie's fouled going up. Darius Perry committing the personal. Louisville, an 8-0 run, a 9-point lead for the Cardinals, and Dang Adele and company getting going here in the Garden. We're at Madison Square Garden for the House Gotham Classic. Louisville and Memphis meeting for the first time since 2014. Cardinals with the 9-point lead. Of course, the FBI's investigation into bribery and corruption in college basketball has hit Louisville the hardest, and it's a scandal that continues to unfold. Just this week, the university filed a counterclaim to the lawsuit of now former head coach Rick Pitino. Here's the timeline. It's a mess, John. There's no question about that. But David Padgett has a team that is choosing to move forward and try to put this behind them, even as it continues to work its way down the road.
Correct. And it's something, it's the elephant in the room. It's something that they all are aware of and probably are worried about. But at the same time, they've done a very good job, as I said earlier, when they cross the lines, when they step onto the court, blocking everything out, fighting for each other, fighting with each other, and having some success on the court.
It's got to help to have veterans on the roster who have dealt with it before, drama off the court. As a coach, how do you try to keep a team focused on the task at hand?
Well, that is difficult, no matter what the situation is. I think they have an added advantage in that the new coach, David Padgett, was there with them. They haven't changed tactically. They haven't changed what they're doing too much. So there's a learning curve in that regard has not been that big.
The emphasis is still on defense. McMahon the steal. Perry could not follow.
One of the keys right now is, Louisville's shooting 6 for 8 from 3. They have 4 blocks, and with that last possession, now 4 steals. And so Memphis has to take care of the ball and stop giving up threes. Hit the middle and cut.
Now, Louisville's a team that's unranked, but just remember, in the summer, this was a team that was talked about as a potential Final Four club with the talent they had coming back. Preseason number 16 in November when the first poll came out from the Associated Press, unranked now after the 2 losses to Purdue and Seton Hall. But it's a team that still has talent on the floor.
Without a doubt. That's the point I was going to make. They're preseason top 5 team, and those guys are still out there. And so, yes, you lose your coach, you lose your leader, you lose the person that you went to Louisville to play for. But the collection that they have there, they're too deep at every position. They have 10 players, and there's very little drop-off when the subs come in.
Kevin Davenport drills the 3 for Memphis. That's the Tigers' first triple of the game.
Memphis has stopped penetrating with the pass. And what I mean by that, early on, they were passing the ball into the middle of the zone, and then that person would pick apart what was there. Now they're just trying to get to the paint off the dribble, and Louisville's locking that down.
Man going behind the back to Spalding. From the free throw line, left it short. Jordan Wara, the freshman from Buffalo, New York, gives Louisville a second chance. McMahon missing the 3.
Jordan Wara, that's what he's a very good offense player. He can really shoot. But somehow the ball just keeps finding its way to him, if that makes sense.
Explain that a little bit.
He just grabbed, shot goes up, very good shot. Their body's around, he just pursues the ball. I mean, he's not flying over the rim. He's not, an uber athlete, but at the same time, he pursues the ball. Every possession, every shot, he's going after the ball.
He's got a nose for it,
he's not
even
a watcher.
At this age.
He's not a watcher. He's playing.
Wara, part of a stellar recruiting class that Louisville has brought in. Of course, Brian Bowen, not on the team, the 5-star prospect that was caught up in the FBI's case, but still a talented group of freshmen for Louisville. Floater by Martin doesn't drop. Parks working hard down low. Blocked by Mahmoud, but Parks with the second and third effort.
Big fella came to work today. multiple efforts. He's done that several possessions so far, and he has to. That's what's needed out of him if they're going to win.
Parks worked on his conditioning first when he came to Memphis. He was 276 pounds when he arrived. He's down to 260. He's slimmed up just a little bit, and it's helping him on the floor. 5 on the shot clock. Deng Adele guarded by Thornton. Parks on the switch. Adele, did he get it off in time? The officials will go to the monitor. It looked awfully close.
I thought it was good. We'll see. Now, this is the possession before. Long rebound. Look, Memphis has a nice little run out right here. Now look at the big fella go to work. Give me that one. Oh, can't get up. Give me another one.
Yeah.
Can't get it up. Get it up again. Ah, take that.
Now here's Adele. That ball is still in his hand.
Yes, it is.
The ruling was that the shot was good. No basket is the call. Dwayne Gladden, one of our officials, along with Raleigh Ritecki and Jerry Heater, just waved it off. So a shot clock violation.
You know, Memphis so far has 10 field goals. 7 of them are in the paint, which is what they need to do. They can't be content with just passing the ball around the perimeter. Get it into the paint. And I think they need to get in there with the pass more so than trying to dribble through Louisville's defense.
Memphis first has to work its way through the pressure in the backcourt. Oh, bad pass. Darius Perry was waiting for it. Adele. Perry backs it out. Here's Mahmoud against Parks at the other end. Couldn't finish over him even with the length.
Move it, move it, move it, move it, move it. Ball can't stick.
Is that something you would say on the sideline quite a bit?
In this game against this team, without a doubt. When you get stagnant, that defense gets more aggressive. Here you see Bruton, nice little show shot right there. Strong layup through contact, puts it in. At one point, it looked like Louisville was going to run away. Memphis decided they wanted to stay around a little bit.
Memphis is on a 7-0 run. Kareem Bruton trying to cap the three-point play. And Bruton knocks it down. Holiday Hoops are back, and a great matchup tomorrow afternoon. Number 7 North Carolina and number 20 Tennessee in Knoxville. 3 Eastern on ESPN, also streaming live on the ESPN app. That game went down to the wire last year in Chapel Hill. Tennessee off to a great start under Rick Barnes this year. Looking forward to getting North Carolina at home. Here in New York, David Padgett and his Cardinals are up 1.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Zales. 'Tis the season to save and sparkle more than ever.
Halftime report with Seth Graber, LaFonso Ellis, and Adnan Burke. They'll tell you the best in the AAC and the ACC, plus some top 25 teams in action. And we'll look ahead to Virginia Tech, Kentucky. More importantly, MSG funds. How about the freight elevator?
Oh, elephants going up and down. Sometimes it even smells like elephants.
No doubt about it. I'll tell you who's coming up and down. Ryan McMahon's a difference maker for this Louisville team. Very active defensively, but the Lions, the Tigers, and the Bears, real Tigers in Memphis.
10, J23.
All right, Adnan, thanks so much. Louisville up 1 here late in the first half. Memphis has answered the Cardinals' 8-0 run with an 8-0 run of its own. Louisville ball out of the timeout. Cardinals have knocked down 6 threes, shooting 46% from the field. The lob to Spalding. Big man to big man. Mahmoud finding Spalding for the basket.
That's a nice play out of the timeout, obviously. I'm impressed with the pass by Mahmoud.
I would not expect that from the 7-footer. Three-pointer by Kareem Bruton. He had the three-point play before the timeout. This triple knots things up at 30.
And that's 2 3-point plays in a row. One, the first one the old-fashioned way with the N1. Now he comes out and knocks down a 3.
VJ King got off to a great start, left that jumper short, parks the rebound.
Big fella, this time getting the defensive rebound. Let's see if we can feed the big man. Let's get the ball to him.
Bruton over Mahmoud. That's a tough shot off balance. Adele with just 1 basket in this first half. He's calling for it, looking for another 3, and he's got it. Dang, Adele puts Louisville back in front.
Much needed basket right there. Much needed. Schneider penetrates and kicks it to him.
Adele, former role player, now a go-to guy, averaging 16 points a game. Davenport short on the 3, but it came back to Jeremiah Martin. Martin, oh, Spalding the rejection, but right into the arms of Davenport.
Plenty of time on the clock.
Martin, the step back, and he hits. A long 2 for Martin.
You know, we see the last several baskets, Memphis is attacking the zone on the side that Spalding is on.
VJ King, the 3-pointer. Louisville raining down the triples, make it 8 in this first half.
They're back on that side.
Davenport against Spalding, and Spalding blocked it out of bounds.
Not going to work that time.
Ray Spalding had the best offseason of anyone for Louisville, according to the coaching staff. Really improved on both ends of the floor. David Padgett says he finally got serious. He's been a goofball at times, but he realized, hey, I could play professionally. I could make a living doing this.
And you know what, just to comment on Spalding a little bit more, Louisville's a team that tracks and charts deflections. And they say he's averaging about 13 deflections a game. That's amazing.
Yeah, that goes back, obviously, Rick Pitino, almost 20 years as the head coach at Louisville. That's a big stat for Louisville. And Spalding with the hook shot at the other end.
That's something we saw them working on in practice yesterday. They start the ball on one side of the court, quick reversal, and a duck in on the opposite block.
Final minute here at the Garden. Rivers looking down low. Thornton blocked, but a foul. Spalding and Mahmoud were there.
Quick reversal to VJ King. Boom, hard duck in by Spalding. Isolation down there on that block. Nice jump hook. They worked on it all day yesterday. Looked just like it did in practice.
Pitino even said it about Spalding a couple of years ago. He's the best NBA prospect on the roster, and he's starting to realize his potential.
He might be the best, but I'm here to tell you, it's a bunch of scouts in this building. They have a lot of prospects out there. You see, the last offensive possession by Memphis, was nice. They got the ball to Rivers in the middle of the zone. He was very patient. Turned and found the big fella Thornton underneath.
Rainier Thornton, 2 years at the junior college level from Marietta, Georgia. Played at Gordon State last year. 2-point game. Low pass from Mahmoud. Thornton the hustle play. And the jam by Rivers.
Hello.
Oh, that brings a few fans out of their seats here at MSG.
Hello. We got a game now, baby. Oh, Memphis is in the house after all.
A nice contingent behind their bench, fired up, hanging with Louisville in this first half. Final seconds. King puts up the 3, way off. Wara at the buzzer, and off we go to the break, all tied at 38.
The steal, the unselfish play. Hello. Got one.
Jamario Rivers, one of the 2 returning letter winners for Memphis, all the way to the top here at MSG. Memphis and Louisville even at 38. Off to the studio, Adnan Burke, LaFonso Ellis, and Seth Greenberg.
All right, Ted, John, thank you very much.
Zales. 'Tis the season to save and sparkle more than ever.
We're attacking for another one. That's been our mindset all year.
You can't be scared to go win them.
That's why we do it, for moments like this.
You always want to control what you can control if you're going to be successful.
Cannot wait for the college football playoff. As for the game you're currently watching, Jamario Rivers here getting it done for Memphis, as this has been the Zales halftime report. Louisville, Memphis tied for 38, Ted and JT3 on the other side.
You're watching ESPN's Holiday Hoops, presented by Zales, here at Madison Square Garden, the 90th all-time meeting between Louisville and Memphis. We're all tied up at 38 as we get ready for the start of the second half. Glad you're with us, Ted Emmerich, and former Georgetown and Princeton head coach John Thompson III. Memphis knew this was going to be a big test, their biggest of the year. 7 wins, but all 7 against mid-majors. They're acquitting themselves really well here today.
Oh, without a doubt. They've responded to the atmosphere. They've responded to the moment. I think they've done an outstanding job of getting the ball in the paint. Now, you see here, it's been a tale of 2 different teams. Louisville, the 3-point shot. They made 8 threes in the first half. Memphis has to try to take that away. Also, Louisville with 8 blocks. And then Memphis, they're doing what I think you need to do to attack this matchup zone. They're getting it in the middle and then being extremely poised once they're getting in there. They're scoring in the paint. They have to continue to do that. Don't settle for perimeter long shots.
Today's game track brought to you by House. Memphis has the advantage on the boards. Mike Park's a big reason why. A +7 rebounding advantage for Memphis, +8 in points in the paint. And the Tigers have it to start the second half. Nobody in double figures for Memphis, John. Balanced effort. Jeremiah Martin with 8 points. Mike Parks with 8 points to lead the way. Here is Martin to the rack. Got the step on Mahmoud.
Tough shot over out the big fella outstretched. Took his time, was poised, got a high off the glass. When they've not turned the ball over, Memphis has 7 turnovers in the first half. When they're not turning it over, they've been getting pretty good shots.
And another turnover for Louisville. Cardinals 7th in this game. Here's Rivers, who had that thunderous lob slam at the end of the first half. Davenport sets the screen. It's an illegal screen. Offensive foul against Davenport.
Martin, nice penetration, high off the glass. That's a tough layup. Everyone talks about getting layups. That's a tough layup over a 7-footer with a 7'6" wingspan coming at you.
Tubby Smith told us before the game that Martin jammed his finger in Memphis' last game Tuesday against Albany. Had a bad practice yesterday here in New York, but he has come back pretty well here today.
Come on, man, we're in the Garden. A jam finger.
Oh, come on, don't give me that.
From performing. This is Madison Square Garden, baby. The jam finger means nothing. Hello, Willis Reed.
Hard to stop VJ King when he's barreling to the basket. He's in double figures now with 10. Davenport down low against Adele, trying to follow his own miss. And Ray Spalding clears it. Adele looking for three-pointer number 3.
And I anticipate as this game goes on, Adele is going to continue to be more and more aggressive. He was fairly passive in that first half, had a couple little runs, but I think he's going to be much more aggressive this half.
Adele, a guy who declared for the draft after his sophomore season, but he decided that he wasn't ready after getting the feedback from coaches and personnel people.
You know, Louisville is starting that matchup zone. They're starting to extend. They're inching out for steals. They're thinking about it. Memphis has to start cutting now and see if they can, get some backdoors, not for layups, but just to release the pressure and then make the second or third pass.
John, you talking about backdoors, I would have never imagined that.
Imagine that.
You love the backdoor cut.
I love easy shots.
Yes. Snyder setting up Spalding for an easy shot on the interior.
Another assist for Snyder.
It's a 7-0 run for Louisville. Rivers going up top to Thornton. It's off his fingertips. Adele pulling up from NBA range. His 4th triple.
Being more aggressive. That was pretty. Now this is a key stretch right here for Memphis. They haven't scored in a while. They got to stay poised right now, see if we can get a good shot.
Tubby
Great
Smith
timeout.
calling timeout. A 10-0 run for Louisville. How about dang Adele?
He's hit a couple of threes in a row. He comes down in transition, gets a little brush screen, slides under it, bam.
Howe's Gotham Classic here at the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. Louisville with a 10-0 run. The Cardinals are up 48-40 over Memphis. It has been an odyssey for Louisville's leading scorer, Deng Adel. Born in South Sudan, of course, war has ravaged the country. Fled to Uganda, moved to Melbourne, Australia, then in 2004, and came to the United States for high school. Went to Victory Prep in Florida and really followed the same path as former Louisville Cardinal Mango Mathiang, who is now on a 2-way contract with the Hornets.
And you illustrated his path. Somewhere along the way, he spent a whole lot of time in the gym. That jumper looks nice.
That's one of the biggest pieces of feedback that Adele got from NBA folks. You got to improve your jumper. He's made all 4 of his threes today. Rivers dropping it off, and Rainier Thornton scoops it in for Memphis.
You know, that was good stick-to-itiveness by Memphis. On that one possession, Louisville had 2 or 3 deflections. Memphis still ends up with the ball and gets the easy basket. They needed that.
Here's Snyder around the screen from Spalding. And back into the hands of Adele, 10 to shoot near midcourt. Followed by Rivers, Memphis' best defender. King. And a foul on the floor. Spalding and Thornton were looking for the rebound.
That was a good call. That was a very good call. You know, Spalding's activity, he wasn't just standing there, he was moving, trying to get the rebound, and Thornton had to grab him.
So tough. Spalding with his 7'4" wingspan.
And his activity.
And Thornton is just 6'6". Snyder the drive, missed the layup, thought he had a chance at 3 the hard way, but he was fouled.
Nice penetration right there.
This will be the Cardinals' first free throw attempts of the game, believe it or not. They've made 10 threes as a team, but first time at the line.
Well, I think what you said kind of goes in hand with it. They're taking a lot of threes. They're there now, though. They're at the foul line, boom. Snyder is being a little more aggressive. Not quite as aggressive as the start of the first half, but he's had the ball in his hands. He did what I said at the opening. In the first half, he was looking for himself. Now he's penetrating, kicking out. That time he took the shot, but he's running this Louisville offense right now.
Second in the ACC in assist-to-turnover ratio a year ago, almost 3-1, as Mahmoud comes back on for Louisville. Snyder was 8th in the conference in assists per game, and he's taking the next step as a senior.
And as I said, as they head towards conference play, he's going to have the ball in his hands. It's not going to be an equal opportunity offense as you've seen a little bit early in the season so far.
Memphis down 8 here early in the second half. Can they respond to a Louisville run like they did late in the first half? Mahmoud, another rejection, number 5. Parks couldn't hit, and it's out to Louisville. The Cardinals' length, so bothersome. The 7-footer from Egypt, erasing shots for the Cardinals.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Zales. 'Tis the season to save and sparkle more than ever. And Audi.
Louisville's on top by 8 here at Madison Square Garden. Anas Mahmoud, a difference maker on the interior. John, 5 block shots.
He's so long, and he stays with it. I mean, that's just a knack. He has 5 for the game. As a team, they have 10 for the game.
Well, Mahmoud, a couple of nights ago, as Louisville made their way to the Big Apple, Mahmoud saw somebody that he could probably identify with. That would be someone in a Statue of Liberty costume. And Mahmoud took a picture with this gentleman who, by the way, is on stilts. And there's Mahmoud measuring up to him.
And the funny thing about that story is the Statue of Liberty ran down the street to grab Mahmoud for the picture, not the other way around. We told him he should have charged.
Yes, Mahmoud, $5. I'll take it. And I'll autograph it for 10.
Exactly.
If it's a Polaroid. Remember those? Dang Adele. Could it be three-pointer number 5? That was halfway down. King the offensive rebound. And King turns and scores.
Nice patience on the block right there, following a nice rebound by VJ King.
King, one of 3 Cardinals with 12 points. Snyder and Adele also with a dozen. It's a double-digit lead for Louisville. Bruton, not a chance. Mahmoud, his 6th block.
Was that Mahmoud? I think 3 of the Cardinals got a hand on that one.
Split it 3 ways, and a 3-pointer for Snyder. Bombs away for Louisville. 11 trifectas as a team. A foul on Malik Williams on the perimeter.
Here we see, get in there, take your time. Look, there are 3 Cardinals around you. All right, you have to pass that out. Good ball reversal right there. As we said earlier, Ballard High School guys must like this place. Snyder with another 3.
From Allen Houston to Quentin Snyder. Open look up top for Davenport. And it'll stay at this end. Last touched by Louisville. Snyder had 4 threes Monday night against Bryant, Louisville's last game. Coming in just 30% from 3-point range. Really struggled the first few weeks, but Snyder is starting to catch fire from the outside.
Yeah, and I don't think people were too worried about his percentage. You know he's a good shooter. You know he's done it in big games before. And it was just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Right now, this is a key point for Memphis, obviously. It's still 14 minutes and 32 seconds left. You're down 13, but they're starting to look a little desperate. They're starting to look a little too frenetic on offense. Just pause a little bit. Pause. Remember how you had success in the first half.
And now a turnover. Tubby Smith's team shooting just 22% in this second half.
Okay, so Rivers is down. He just ran into some body part of Mahmoud. We mentioned earlier that McMahon on his own team cracked a rib running into him. Let's see what Rivers ran into. Right in the center of your screen. Woo! Headbutt.
Oh.
Both.
Head-to-head contact, a headbutt.
Inadvertent. He didn't see it.
No.
But ouch.
Mahmoud shaking up a little bit himself. He is heading to the bench and in fact heading up to the tunnel.
And Rivers is asking to come out of the game. He's motioning to the bench to come out of the game.
Rivers staying on for the moment. And now got to guard Deng Adele. Against Rivers. Adele going up, and Rivers knocked it out of bounds. Rivers is in pain. So is Mahmoud.
Here's Mahmoud heading to the tunnel. Right to the end of the bench. Pauses and keeps going. Now Rivers is coming out of the game now, and he looks a little woozy also.
You think in football with targeting penalties, it's bad enough with helmets on. Imagine head-to-head without any protective gear.
Great hustle right there by the freshman Malik Williams. Great hustle, saves the ball out of bounds, throws it off a Memphis player. Gets his team another possession.
BJ King will trigger in for Louisville.
Okay.
Looking for their 10th consecutive win in this building. Snyder, 3 to shoot. And a travel.
Nice call. Trying to beat the shot clock. Took a little extra step right there.
So how does Memphis cut into this deficit?
Well, they have to take better shots. They're doing a good job so far in this possession of getting a little bit of movement. Then they have to do what they did in the first half, but create turnovers themselves and get second shots themselves. I still say what I said earlier. They're not going to win if they're just going against this half-court defense.
Jamal Johnson, the freshman, hasn't scored yet. Got the shooter's bounce, his first basket. Malik Williams, good-looking freshman from the corner, just missed the shot.
And he can make that shot.
Made 3 threes against Indiana last weekend and a big stretch late in the first half. Now a foul on Williams at the other end.
You know, Louisville has the luxury, I said this earlier, of all of the talent that they have. You lose Mahmoud. He's going off to the tunnel to be checked on. You insert Spalding back in the game, and Spalding in this game has 4 blocks. You know, and so you still have a rim protector back there. He's not quite the shot blocker that Mahmoud is, but he still can protect your rim. Oh, and
Mahmoud is back in.
Mahmoud is back in.
So Mahmoud looks to be okay. Hopefully Jamario Rivers is as well. Mahmoud was out just for 69 seconds.
You have to make those. You're trying to claw your way back in this. You got to make those.
Here comes Snyder for Louisville. Leading scorer in this one with 15. King got Thornton off his feet. Back to King with 10 to shoot. Guarded by Davenport. Now Spalding. Oh, lost it. Thornton, the last one to touch it. Louisville ball with 5 on the timer.
5 on the shot clock. Last time they were in this situation, had a travel call, didn't get a good shot. You're going to see Snyder start off opposite and come flying off. No,
King
McMahon
finds McMahon off the curl. The three-pointer is short. Martin pushing the tempo for Memphis. Martin, the Euro step, and the block by King. But there's Davenport trailing the play. And a timeout for Louisville.
That's what Memphis needs. A great defensive possession. You get a steal, breakaway, easy transition baskets.
Bowl season is here, and here's the lineup. First at 3:30 Eastern on ABC, Boise State and Oregon in the Las Vegas Bowl. 4:30 Eastern on ESPN, Marshall and Colorado State in the Gildan, New Mexico Bowl. Then the Raycom Media Camellia Bowl, Middle Tennessee and Arkansas State at Eastern. All 3 games also streaming live on the ESPN app. Of course, we got holiday hoops here at Madison Square Garden. Louisville and Memphis, first meeting since March 2014 when both were in the American Athletic Conference. That was Louisville's 1 year in the league before going to the ACC. 90th all-time meeting between the schools. Spalding missing the hook. Memphis trying to crawl back into it. Now Louisville with the edge in this series. For both schools, they have only played one other team more often than the opponent today. Long-standing rivalry highlighted by many classic moments, but it's a long time ago. 4 to shoot for Memphis. And a turnover, Mahmoud the steal. McMahon pulling up, foot on the three-point line from NBA range.
That's big. You know, bad possession with Memphis. Run right down to the. Let's get a good one here. Let's get some movement. Let's get some movement.
That's a dozen trays for Louisville here today. Davenport lost it, but a foul before the shot. It's on the floor. Ryan McMahon broke a rib in the preseason, out the first month. He is giving Louisville a lift now. Three-pointer number 12 in the game for the Cardinals. SportsCenter coming your way tonight at 11:30 Eastern. Deep dive on the AFC playoff picture. Of course, the Chargers and Chiefs playing tonight. That will impact the postseason picture. Carmelo Anthony's return to New York Knicks and Thunder here in this building tonight. And the best of the best, the top 10 plays from college football this season. SportsCenter, 11:30 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Ted Emmerich, John Thompson III, our entire crew. So you were giving me the nickel tour here at MSG. You showed me the spot where Carmelo Anthony was waiting for Kevin Garnett after a particular incident earlier in their career.
You know, we don't want to tell everyone everything that I showed you. Melo back in the Garden. I mean, how lucky are we? Are you staying? I might stay.
Why not?
Help the crew change over the floor.
Yeah, I got to peel the stickers off the floor.
I'll help. Just give me a nice seat.
Yeah.
Preferably near Spike.
Oh, late in the shot clock, Davenport drilling the three. Memphis back to within single digits, not going away just yet.
You know, in the first half, I made a statement that Louisville's pressure was starting to wear Memphis down, and Memphis quickly responded and obviously fought right back in. This is that same stretch. Louisville's on a nice little run until that three. Leave McMahon open.
Off target, Jordan Wara, the offensive board, had his shot blocked. McMahon chases it down. Adele. Parks saves it. Martin comes away with it for Memphis. The pull-up three.
Oh, that's not the shot we want.
A frenetic exchange back and forth. Adele the drive and kick on a blocking foul on Memphis.
Wally Ritecki with the block call. You know, I started to say Memphis at that point in the first half gained their composure and made a little run. They have to do it right now. Got two defensive stops. You know, shooter's a shooter, scorer's a scorer. I think I would want a little different shot than that pull-up three in transition right there. Go to the cup, see if we can get fouled.
A foul was on Kevin Davenport. Here's McMahon looking for Adele. Absorbing contact. Spalding offensive board and the foul.
Hold up.
Wow.
We have to see that. Did you see him snatch that board?
Using those long arms to snare it.
Look at this. Nice drive by Adele. A little wild. Look at Spalding. Give me that. One-handed over everyone. Now let me go to the line.
Wow.
Hits the first. That was an outstanding offensive rebound.
Spalding with 4 double-doubles in Louisville's first 9 games. He's got 7 points and 5 rebounds here today. And Spalding makes it an 11-point lead for Louisville.
With 4 blocks.
He and Mahmoud, those 2 towers inside for Louisville.
And they allow everyone else to be so aggressive on the perimeter because, you know, if you have penetration, one of those two are there ready to clean it up.
Martin splitting the defense. As you were calling for, attack the cup. Look for that foul, and Martin drew the personal.
All right, so he's going to the foul, and if he makes these, look for Memphis to press Louisville a little bit. Try to speed them up, see if they can get a turnover.
Martin knocking down the first. The top returning scorer on the team from last year. He was the 4th leading scorer a year ago, behind Diedrich and KJ Lawson and Markel Crawford, all 3 among the 6 players who transferred from Memphis last year. Massive turnover on this roster for the Tigers this season.
Massive turnover, but they're going to be okay. They're playing well.
Have the #1 recruiting class in the American Conference. A lot of junior college guys have assimilated. Adele short on the jumper.
Another stop.
Memphis within 9. Martin pressure near half court. And the foul is called on McMahon. That's his 3rd.
Just a little opportunity trap right there. Louisville, the players have the freedom. If they think they can cause a trap to create a little havoc, they have the freedom to do it whenever they want. Now here we go, just under 10 minutes. Quentin Snyder's back in the game to manage the game toward coming down the stretch here.
Snyder with a game high 15 points. Sutton is on. Kevin Davenport. Down low. Parks has had success here today. Bouncing it to Johnson for the layup late in the shot clock.
Very, very good pass right there. Big fella got it. Parks took his time, threw it out, had another deflection, regained it. Nice cut from the corner, layup.
Louisville started this second half making 6 of their first 8 shots. They are 1 of their last 10. Sutton on the take. 3 Memphis Tigers converging. It'll stay with Louisville, 9 on the shot clock.
The ball goes into the big fella, gets it back. Nice cut from the corner. What do you call that? That kind of
pocket pass.
Yeah, backdoor layup.
You love the backdoor, John. Adele fouled before the shot.
Louisville, they've made, wow, change of call right there.
Wally Rutecki, the lead official, telling David Padgett who is puzzled right now.
The fans don't like it. I didn't see the play, but I know Wally knows how to manage a game.
Another look.
Did he call a push-off on Dang?
That's what Kareem Bruton was motioning for, that Adele used that chicken wing to clear space.
Yeah, and that could have gone either way. I'm not upset with that call. He did kind of flip that little wing out there.
So a 7-point lead for Louisville with under 9 minutes. And now a foul on Jordan Wara as Jamal Johnson was circling.
So here you see Adele penetrating. Yeah, you see that little chicken wing right there. The defender was straight up and down. Yeah, no way that was a foul on Bruton, though. Maybe a no call, but no way that was a foul on Bruton. We saw the little wing. We saw the little wing.
Just a small wing, not a large one? Not the supersized wing?
Exactly.
Okay.
One thing to note, Memphis will be shooting 1-on-1 for the rest of this game.
Yep.
Or 1-on-1 or maybe get to 10, to 2.
Johnson made the front end there, missed the second. 6-point game. Louisville has led by as many as 13. Adele sprinting ahead, drops it off to Sutton, and what a block by Jeremiah Martin, the point guard. Bruton, extra pass to Parks, who missed it from close range. But it'll stay with Memphis.
That's okay, just don't get discouraged. That's okay. Great block down one end. The guard drops down. Martin's, give me that. Now we start transition going the other way.
Martin just taking it away. Just the third block for Memphis. Louisville with 12 as a team. Cardinals have missed 11 of their last 12 shots. Memphis has fought back. Martin around the screen. Pulls the trigger. That's a 2. And it's a 4-point margin. David Padgett has seen enough. A timeout for Louisville after a 7-0 run by Memphis. Timeout here at Madison Square Garden. Memphis coming back.
Back to this college basketball studio update. UNC Greensboro and NC State. Malik Massey to Isaiah Miller right now. The Wolfpack down by 11. What is going on? Back to 10.
Adnan, thanks so much. We've got a good one now. Just over 8 minutes to play. Louisville up by 4 over Memphis. Something that David Padgett told us yesterday at practice, John. Hey, Memphis is a team, while they're 7-2 and they haven't beaten a team from a Power 5 conference yet, they have gotten better every single game. And just within this game, we've seen the confidence build minute after minute.
Without a doubt. I mean, the Louisville-Memphis is supposed to be a close game. And Memphis, you say they haven't beaten a Power 5 team, but they've played some very good, what people will call mid-majors. And so those have been good wins against teams that have a very good chance of playing in the NCAA tournament. You look at Mercer, all right, at the Southern Conference, they're the favorites. Sanford is picked second in that conference. Northern Kentucky is picked second in the Horizon with the Player of the Year in their team. Albany picked second in the American East. and UAB second in Conference USA. So they're playing the best teams in what some people would call smaller conferences. Those aren't easy games.
Now, the outsider might say, how dare you go down to the wire with those teams? Tubby Smith saw it as an encouraging sign for a totally new team making the clutch plays to win those games.
Well, and just as important, Tubby's looking big picture. It's a reason why he's been able to take 5 different schools to the tournament. It's building a schedule. That's a very good schedule. When you look at the end of the year, you look at the strength of schedule, and you look at possibly 2, 3, 4 of those teams as being tournament teams. That's a very good way to put together a schedule. Coach Smith knows that.
Adele sends it in for Louisville. Adele gets it back. Another triple for dang Adele. 5 3-pointers. A career high for Adele.
I told you somewhere along those travels you talked about, he spent some time in the gym.
Spalding takes it away for Louisville. All 15 of Adele's points coming from long range. He's got it against Bruton. Now Spalding. Memphis ripping away at it. Spalding left it short. Here comes Jeremiah Martin. Blowing past Snyder. The layup is good, plus the foul.
Great effort right there. Great effort. Here he comes. He's not going to be denied right here. Nice little step through. Boom. Takes the contact, puts it in. Now let's go to the foul line and get an old-fashioned three-point play.
First week of the season, Memphis loses to Alabama in their opener, a tight game. And Tubby Smith goes to Martin, who's really upset coming out of that one. You want to be a leader or not? Everyone looks to you. You have to keep your emotions in check.
And while you're saying that,
unbelievable shot blocked by Davenport.
Defensive lapse, the hustle makes up for effort and hustle makes up for mistakes right there.
Memphis within 4. Martin with Mahmoud on him. Will he try to take him off the bounce? Inside, Davenport. Oh, he missed the bunny. Thornton missing as well. Spalding has the rebound.
Now the crowd's getting back in it. We're getting a little excited again here.
Much like late in the first half when Memphis was down 9. Tigers responding here again.
Coach Padgett's over there screaming, patience, patience.
Adele through the lane, out to Snyder, using the up fake. And the elbow jumper drops in.
Big basket.
Memphis trying to throw it the length of the floor. Mahmoud with the deflection. Memphis retains possession.
Great hustle right there by Thornton. Great hustle. There was a defensive breakdown. Adele got behind the defense, was on his way for an uncontested breakaway layup. As I said, a lot of times, kids, listen to what I'm saying. Hustle and effort erases mistakes. There was a defensive mistake. The hustle and effort made up for it.
The story goes that the day the Lawson brothers transferred to Kansas, assistant coach Joe Esposito was on the phone to Kevin Davenport. Big part of this Memphis team. Parks missing inside.
Memphis has had some tough breaks. They're getting good shots. They're getting shots right at the rim. They're just not falling in. So when that happens, what do you have to do? You have to suck it up and get another stop.
Mahmoud working against Parks. Bruton comes over. Mahmoud, the hook. Nice floating shot by Mahmoud. Louisville by 8.
Long arm of the law. He gets to that block and stretches out that long jump hook. Not much you can do with it. You got to push him out. Don't let him get there.
Martin in attack mode. Oh, it's off Parks' hands. A turnover. Adele loading up again. Spalding trying to tip it in. Controlled by Kareem Bruton.
Still got 5 minutes. Relax, relax.
Plenty of time.
Catch the ball.
Martin the floater. Doesn't fall. Over the outstretched arm of Mahmoud.
I think Parks is a little tired here. He's dropped a few balls. He's missed some easy shots. He's huffing just a little bit.
He's played so well today.
He has.
Memphis. King, late in the shot clock, leaning in, blocking foul on the floor. That'll be on Kevin Davenport. Holiday hoops are back. Great matchup tomorrow in Knoxville. 7th-ranked North Carolina and number 20 Tennessee hooking up 3 Eastern on ESPN, also streaming live on the ESPN app. Tennessee in the top 25 for the first time since 2010. Their only loss to Villanova, which of course is number 1 in the country now.
Coach Barnes getting it done down there in Tennessee. One of the surprise teams so far. One of the surprise teams in the country. As you indicated, the only loss was to Nova in a tough game. Tough game that he could have pulled out over in the Bahamas. So they're going to have some fun down in Knoxville tomorrow.
Kevin Davenport picked up personal foul number 4. That bears watching. VJ King at the line. So a mini 6-0 burst for Louisville after Memphis had cut the deficit to 4.
Now they're back to the matchup, Louisville. Changing defenses right here. Memphis had fallen into a little rhythm. They were missing chippies, easy shots, but they were getting them. So switch the defense, change the defense, see if we can confuse them.
Davenport around, Mahmoud, Spalding the block. It is hard to compete with Spalding and Mahmoud on the interior. The blocks piling up today.
Those
for
two
Louisville.
young men just go and get it. Now here, this is the block he likes. See if he dribbles in. Nice pass, nice extra pass by VJ.
To Sutton for the triple.
That's a winning play by King right there. That's a winning play. He had the shot. He made the extra pass for a better shot.
14 threes as a team. A season high for the Cardinals. Martin hanging against Mahmoud, and the foul is called with 3:17 to go. We've got a timeout. Louisville, a 9-0 run, starting to separate from Memphis.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by House, the new way to design your home, and Lucas Oil, the world leader of high-performance lubricants and problem-solving additives.
Adnan Burke back in studio. Little birdie told me, watch out for Kevin Knox. Maybe posting up against that small Virginia Tech front court. We shall see. That game is coming up. Knox so far has been terrific for Kentucky, leading the team in points and, of course, 3-point field goals made. Until then, we have the conclusion from MSG. Ted, John, back over to you guys.
Adnan, thanks so much. Yeah, Knox, one of the stellar freshmen. Again, you can say that every year for Kentucky. They always have a few. Louisville has scored the last 9 to push the lead to 72-59. Just over 3 minutes to go. Jeremiah Martin is at the line for 2 shots coming out of the timeout.
Well, Louisville did what good teams do. At a key juncture of the game, they turned the defense up just a little bit. Down the offensive end, they started to execute just a little better. And all of a sudden, a game that was, I think, 4, you look up and it's 13 after the foul shot, now 12. But they just ran away from you in a key 2-3 minute stretch.
The block shots, the 3-pointers. Louisville doing it at both ends. Memphis applying pressure now. They got to do that. Here's the senior point guard, Quentin Snyder, racing ahead.
Good. Gonna work a little clock right here.
Nine to shoot. Ray Spalding against Thornton. And a foul comes before the shot.
You know, you see here some easy misses by Memphis. They were getting what they wanted. You get in there, nice little flipper, doesn't go in. You know, get trapped, pass, get down low, doesn't go in. I mean, they didn't settle for jump shots. They attacked the rim. They got those 2 clips, and there's probably like 1 or 2 more where they bobbled it or got an easy shot. Now, the shot blocking is the reason for that. Those shots weren't blocked. But as they're going in there, they're worried about, hey, where's my move? Hey, where's Spalding? And all of a sudden you're peeking. You're peeking for that shot blocker, and you're not focusing on making the basket.
Memphis shot 50% as a team in the first half, John. Just 33% here in the second half. 13 block shots for Louisville. And Mahmoud has 7 of them. Martin slithering into the lane. The floater is good.
They have to make something happen on this end, though. They can't just settle for Louisville killing time and getting a good shot.
King all the way to the rack. He flips it in.
Very good job right there of attacking after the press. You don't want to take crazy shots, but hey, VJ puts his head down and gets right to the rim.
Davenport with Mahmoud hanging on him. Davenport does finish. And the Tigers need stops. 2 minutes remaining. And an illegal screen goes against Louisville. A turnover. 3rd foul on Mahmoud. So an 11-point lead for the Cardinals with 1:50 to go.
Got to make something happen quickly. Nice penetration, nice pull-up.
Bruton from the mid-range. Memphis within single digits now, and a timeout for Tubby Smith and the Tigers. Well, we've got a packed bowl schedule, and let's give you the lineup. Coming up at 3:30 Eastern on ABC, Boise State and Oregon in the Las Vegas Bowl. At 4:30 Eastern on ESPN, Marshall and Colorado State in the Gildan, New Mexico Bowl. Then Middle Tennessee and Arkansas State, the Raycom Media Camellia Bowl. That's the nightcap, 8 Eastern on ESPN. All games also streaming live on the ESPN app.
You know, right here coming out of this timeout, Memphis just got a quick basket. They have to alter the press. It has to be different than it has been so far in the game. They can't just do a containment press and hope Louisville makes a mistake. They have to come out and be much more aggressive, more than just the first trap. They have to make something happen right here.
VJ King will inbound, and Jamal Johnson will guard him there.
Come on, Tigers!
King searching, finds Adele. Now again, Memphis just starting to back off.
Now they have the ball in whose hands they want.
Quentin Snyder with 17 points and 4 assists today. Snyder fouled with 8 on the shot clock. Rainier Thornton picks it up.
Thornton, they ended up switching right there, and he's trying to pressure Snyder, which I understand, but don't pick up that foul right there. Let him get in there, see what he's going to do.
So 1-1 for Quentin Snyder. And Snyder will have a second. The leader of this team. 3 years as a team captain, preseason second team All-ACC.
And coming into this game, he's only missed 3 foul shots on the year, so those, you know, those are good.
Martin, the drive, and he was ripped at before he put up the layup. So the foul is called with 1:10 to go.
But they're in a bonus, so it was before he attempted the shot, but he's still getting the foul shots right here.
And with Memphis in the double bonus, it'll be 2 shots for Martin. 4th foul against Ray Spalding. Martin, the leading scorer in this game, 21 points and also 9 rebounds. John, you think of Louisville and everything they're dealing with off the court. What helps is the team chemistry. Something that David Padgett told us yesterday. Thursday night when the team got in, he was turning the corner near the hotel, and he saw all of his players were going out to dinner together. It was not scheduled as a team dinner. The players genuinely like each other. They're all friends, and Padgett says makes this season a lot easier to deal with.
And everyone that's ever been a part of a team or an organization understands that. If you care about your teammate, if you like your teammate, you're going to have a better year. And just the opposite. If guys don't like each other, if they're a bunch of cliques, almost, then you're not going to have a good year.
Bruton was diving for it, trying to come up with a steal.
Louisville has 3 seconds to cross half court.
1 minute to go. And back into the hands of Snyder. Louisville taking over in this second half. Big burst, the blocks and the three-pointers. Snyder in the lane to Spalding for the throwdown.
That young man can play at both ends of the court. He's blocking shots. He's making good moves on the block. This young man, VJ King, I think has been outstanding in this second half.
King, one of 4 players in double figures. Spalding, another with 12 points.
Nice penetration by Snyder. Watch your head. Big fella let everyone know about it.
In case you didn't see the dunk, check out the reaction. Spalding with 4 of those blocks. 12 points and 9 rebounds as well. Well, coming up for Louisville, they have Albany, a team that Memphis beat on Tuesday. And Grand Canyon University, but you might hear about this game. It's circled on the calendar from time to time. Yeah, at Kentucky, December 29th, before ACC play begins in the new year with Pittsburgh.
You know, and I think you got 25 seconds left. Big shot, timeout by coach. Both of these teams are playing better. You've seen improvement with each game, I think, with both of these teams. And so Memphis is going to take a loss tonight, it looks like. Maybe I'm speaking too soon. We still got 26 seconds left. But this team played significantly better today than they have been playing. And I think you're going to see that. 1, because you always see that with Coach Smith Tubby's teams. And 2, they're just starting to gel. It's one thing to talk about who left and who's not there. You have 11 new guys that you have to incorporate their skills, and they have to learn each other's skills and talents and how we can play off of each other, as well as, I think I said this in the first half, Tubby's just slow walking them in terms of what he wants them to do. And so that's going to continue to grow. So this team, you know, tough day here in the Garden. I like the way they fought back in both halves, you know, but they're going to continue to get better.
Now, there's been that debate in Memphis. Can you just give Tubby Smith some time, considering his resume, what he's done, like you said, taking 5 different schools to the NCAA tournament? Of course, when you lose all that kind of talent that transfers away from Memphis, it is going to take time. And there are those who say that maybe Memphis will be better off in the long run as Smith is able to build the team that he wants.
Yeah, and if you want culture change, which the people at Memphis wanted, that takes time. And there's going to be attrition. You know, in many ways, this year is almost like Tubby's first year.
Right.
With so many new players. But he knows what he's doing. He's one of the best that's ever done this. And it's going to take time, but I see the growth in this team already.
25.6 to go. Dell sends it back to VJ King. Oh, and King walked.
Yeah, I think VJ was anticipating the foul right there. He thought they were going to foul him.
He slowed up, thinking the contact was coming, and Memphis just backed off, trying to bottle him up. So Memphis ball with 20 seconds. Jeremiah Martin has tied his career high with 26 points. Thornton wide open. Not even close.
It was a good play for the wrong person.
Louisville comes to Madison Square Garden, where they have cut down nets before, going back to the Big East days. And with David Padgett, Louisville knocks off an old rival. 81-72 the final score. The Cardinals beat Memphis. Louisville has now won 4 in a row since their 2 losses to Purdue and Seton Hall. Big day of hoops coming your way. Kentucky and Virginia Tech coming up next. For John Thompson III and our entire crew, I'm Ted Emmerich. For now, we send you to the studio. Adnan Burke, LaFonso Ellis, and Seth Greenberg.
All right, Ted, John, thank